What's up, guys? We got some big Scream news as of today. Twitter was just blowing up with it, so I thought I got to get in here and do an update. So anyway, a lot to discuss. Do you like scary movies? What is up, guys? It's been a while since I did like a news update that's not like live. But there's just been so much great Scream news coming out lately that I thought, you know what, let's sit down and let's discuss it a little bit. Let me edit it and let me put it out there for you guys. And big shout out to Brandon Tabato, whose fan film Ghostface. It was used, I believe, on his fan film, and he sent me this. This is so badass because it looks like aged and weathered. But I'm going to put it right back here. But also this Thursday, DD Live Weekly number 3. I'm going to have a special guest, Zach Moll from Cavern of Terror, and we're going to be discussing Scream, and we're going to be talking about the Halloween Kills Halloween at Home Twitter event that just happened. But that's going to be 2 hours of enjoyment for you guys. But I wanted to get in here and actually record something for Scream because just today, David Arquette, Dewey himself, announced that he is officially coming back for Scream 5. And this is exciting. It's funny because literally just the other day, I posted on Killer Flicks, wouldn't it be cool if within like the first scene of the movie, Dewey is killed like violently. And I actually put like he was beaten over the head with a bat. And you know, I don't hate Dewey at all. The only reason I said that is because Dewey has been killed like multiple times in the franchise. He was stabbed in the first movie, he was stabbed in the second movie, maybe even the third movie. The guy has taken a lot of battle damage. So I figure at this point they could Glenn the guy, you know, because Glenn took a lot of battle damage in Walking Dead and they finally killed him. What if they did that? They don't have to beat him over the head with a bat, okay? Maybe that's why I'm not writing the movie. But I think they need to really give us something big to start the thing off, you know? Kill one of the main characters. The more I got to thinking about it, and I will say I looked up this like, they had like an image, like a recent image of David Arquette. He ages like a fine wine. The man is looking really good. He looks like beefed up and everything. So with a different physical look of Dewey in this movie, could the character himself have gone through like a metamorphosis, you know, because of all the events that happened in Woodsboro? And maybe he's just a really harder edge type of person. What if Dewey's just like a completely different person than he was in the previous movies? I think that'd be kind of cool. So I'm not ruling out anything. But what I will say is I would actually love it if they just killed Gail off in the beginning. Gail, I have my problems with the character. I do like her. I like that she has that tough exterior. But there are some annoying moments with her. And I think if we have to kill off one of the big main characters, I guess she would get my number one vote. Let's go ahead and kill off Gail. Nothing against Courtney Cox. She's brought some great things to the franchise, but I don't want to kill off Sydney. So it's just kind of the process of elimination. But also, before I like read this source here, I posted right before this on Instagram. If you guys want to post a comment on what you would like out of Scream 5 at the end of this update, I'll go ahead and read them. I'll give some shout outs. So I think that'd be kind of cool, make you guys a part of this. But I literally have, there's a lot of different news organizations reporting on this. This one's The Wrap, okay? But I think Bloody Disgusting, Dread Central, I'm sure all of them are reporting on this too. But according to The Wrap, David Arquette joins new Scream movie from Ready or Not directors. That's another thing too. I'm super excited that the directors of Ready or Not are doing this, because Ready or Not is like, it just feels like the vibe that you would get from a Scream movie. You know, there's a little bit of comedy there, but they don't hold back on the blood whatsoever, and that's exactly what Scream is. But the directors, Matt Bettinelli Open and Tyler Gillette, those are the directors of Ready or Not. And they sound like they are just big fans of the Scream franchise, you know? They want to honor the franchise, they want to honor Wes Craven. So I can't think of better hands for this franchise to be in. Kevin Williamson's going to be an executive producer on this, but I believe the directors here, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're having a hand in writing this. But according to The Wrap, it says David Arquette has joined the cast of a new Scream movie that is in the works from the directors of Ready or Not and Spyglass Media Group. Plot details are being kept under wraps, which is very common for the Scream movies. Every Scream movie, they constantly kept the plot, especially the final act, under wraps. Most of the time, even the actors themselves didn't know what the final act was going to unveil. Though Arquette is the first member of the film's ensemble to be officially announced, the filmmakers are in conversation with other legacy cast members. Stopping right here, the internet blew up, or at least the horror community blew up last week, I think, when Neve Campbell did an interview and she was asked, and she stated that, yes, she's in negotiations. I think it's pretty much all but the ink that Neve Campbell is in on this thing. I can't imagine this movie going forward without Neve Campbell, without Sydney. So I think that's pretty much a done deal. It's just the ink's not dry yet. Principal photography will begin later this year in Wilmington, North Carolina, which I believe is the same location they shot Halloween Kills. I think that was, it was either North Carolina or South Carolina. I can't remember which one. But I know that's where they shot Halloween 2018. Okay, so here's the writing right here. It says, James Vanderbilt, Murder Mystery, Zodiac, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Guy Busick, Ready or Not, Castle Rock, are co-writing the screenplay. So a few players in this. And then here's the quote from David Arquette. He says, I'm thrilled to be playing Dewey again and to reunite with the Scream family, old and new. Scream has been such a big part of my life, and for both the fans and myself, I look forward to honoring Wes Craven's legacy, Arquette said in a statement. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. That's pretty much the gist of it, though, is that David Arquette's coming back. And this is important because this is the first official name to sign something to actually come back. It's official. He's actually in as Dewey now. Also, they're filming, or they're scheduled to film this fall, which means I think it's not too out of the question to say that this movie will be released next year. Because, shooting, editing, post-production, all that stuff can be done in a couple months. So, summer release, 2021, I don't think that's out of the question whatsoever. Now, let's talk about why Scream right now is very, very important. The success of Halloween 2018 and now the fever for Halloween Kills, Halloween itself needed to succeed because it meant that there would gain a lot of interest in a lot of horror franchises. Now that Scream is pretty much official, Scream 5, this opens the door even more for other franchises like Friday the 13th and like Nightmare on Elm Street. We all want those franchises to have new entries, like really, really bad. I want a new Nightmare movie like you can't believe it. And I would love a new Friday the 13th. We're long overdue for both. If Scream 5 comes out and Scream 5 is successful, and that's where you guys come in, go support this thing, then the floodgates are gonna open. And I think we're gonna get, I think it's gonna be good for horror all around. It's gonna introduce new and interesting stories as well as, our franchises. And I'll even say, like, horror has been really, hitting its stride over these last few years, and it's interesting that we don't have Nightmare and we don't have Friday and we don't have Scream. Halloween was kind of one of the only big tried and true franchises to come back. Well, now if Scream 5 is big, it opens the floodgates for all of them. Also, if you remember Hayden Panettiere, everybody wants Kirby back so bad. She was just such a beloved character in Scream 4. And I think she's probably the #1 most wanted character to come back. I can't imagine the filmmakers and Hayden herself not knowing this information. And she did recently post on Twitter that she cut her hair short. So anything's possible. And we did not see her die. That's how it is in horror movies. If we don't see the casket, or the body is completely chopped up to bits, then that means we're fair game and the character could still live. Now, also, as far as like changing the game up, the third act, Scream, the franchise, is really well known for the big reveals. I mean, most of these movies have 2 killers. I think for the final act in this particular movie, I think all bets are off, and I think they have to try something different. I didn't mention that Matthew Lillard, which that's his autograph up there on that Scream VHS, by the way, but Matthew Lillard posted that he would be more than happy, I'm paraphrasing, of course, to come back for Scream 5. Wouldn't it be so cool? And I was talking to Zach Mull about this, Cavern of Terror, And he actually stated, I got to give him credit for this. Wouldn't it be cool if Stu ended up being the killer in this movie? You know, because after everything that happened, he was the killer in the first movie. What if he's been hiding out all this time and then he comes back? Kind of like what happened in Halloween 2018. But I would love for Stu to come back. I mean, Stu was probably one of the best parts of the first movie. You know, he was just that really entertaining, loud, bombastic, hilarious character. And it made it even more surprising when it turned out that he was one of the killers at the end. And he was kind of the opposite of Billy. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go over to Instagram now. I'm going to read your comments on what you guys want from this. And also, let me know in the comments what you guys want from Scream 5 if you didn't get a chance to get over to Instagram. I mean, they could go in so many different directions with this movie. But, you know, I think the key things that we want a really, I want a serious story out of this. I like the tongue-in-cheek humor that we do get in the Scream movies. I like that, you know, there's the parody aspect of it where they do callbacks. They make fun of whatever's popular in the genre currently. And maybe in this one, they'll actually touch on the trend of, you know, bouncing forward and making a direct sequel to the first movie in a franchise, which that's kind of a new thing now. Texas Chainsaw 3D was kind of the first one that started that. So I could see them touching on that. But, I mean, anything's possible. Okay, so, woo, holy crap. Yeah, I got quite a few comments here already. Lloyd Gaga says, now we just need Neve and Courtney confirmed. Boom. Tomas Santiago Santos says, I want a fun and memorable slasher flick, not another disappointment like Halloween 2018. Scream has always been one of my favorite slashers, and the franchise has always been good. I even like Scream 3. Anthony P3301 says, I just want Neve back along with Courtney and David. Well, now we have 1/3. Let's hope the other two follow suit. Cavern of Terror, Zach, he says, I want something faithful and fitting, a continuation we can all get behind. Give me a personal story and a badass Ghostface. Couldn't have said it better. Slashback Horse says, I feel after the last 4, we need a jaw-dropping opening like we experienced in the original in 1996. Could not agree more. We definitely need a strong opening. Opening scene, Drew Barrymore, big name, wouldn't expect her to die, and she's gutted and hung from a tree in the opening scenes. I would like it if it's a returning cast for one to be taken out in the opening scene to put that shocker into us from the get-go, so we know no one is safe. And that's why I said Gale Weathers. I think if they kill Gale Weathers at the beginning, that'd be kind of cool. Or even Dewey. Maybe that's what David Arquette is signing on for. Just maybe he's the Drew Barrymore of this movie. It could happen. David versus Goliath says, we want Matthew Lillard back. They should go the whole cult route with him having followers while he's been in jail. I like that. Chris Manley 2019 says, I just want something that the late great Wes Craven would be proud of. That's all. Couldn't ask for more on that one. Chase Moser 95 says, I would love to see a Sidney Prescott at least as much as we saw her in the 4th movie. I would also love Jill Roberts in prison. She was shot in the chest, not in the head and not in the heart. I was just talking about that. Kirby needs to return as well, and please, I would love awesome Ghostface action. I don't want it to be too modern, though. I would like it to be structured like a Scream movie. Johannes 8844 says, I want to see some different kills in the new Scream film. Maltezos Productions says, I don't want it to feel too modern. I feel like Scream fits very well in the 90s. Have Sidney Gale, Dewey, but not as the main characters. I don't want another movie based on Sidney. Add some unique kills, keep it realistic, make Ghostface scary as fuck, and maybe give Ghostface a new look, not too different. Bug Siegel says, I want season 3 of MTV Scream. It's Mikey1981 says, Kirby as the new Sidney and one of the original 3 dead for shock value. Kind of bouncing off what a couple of you guys were saying about Sidney, I think it would be cool if Sidney kind of played what Nancy did in Dream Warriors, where Nancy wasn't the main character, but she came back to help whoever was fighting Freddy at the time. So it would be kind of cool if Sidney played the same role in this one. We'll see. But thank you guys on Instagram for all those nice comments. Really appreciate it. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's my Scream update. I will see you guys on Thursday night. Me and Zach from Cabin of Terror, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about Halloween Kills. A lot of fun to be had. Also, stay tuned. My Jaws 3 review is coming out really soon. I'm literally editing that right now. So anyway, guys, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there, and Drumdum out.